Let's see what happens. Mello, can you hear me? Tell me you can hear me. I've been having some problems. I'm trying to set some stuff up. Grace and P, how do I sound, brother? How do I sound? Hey, Sister Ashmo, how are you? We're gonna, he said, greeting. He's not saying how I sound. Pastor Johnson, grace and peace. Good to see you. I'm going to try something out. YouTube hit me and they talking about taking down some, they took down a video or something. I'm gonna have to get into that. I was just looking at that email. Good to see you, Yolanda. I'm gonna come back on. If this thing works, let me see if I can do it this way. I'm looking at the phone right now. Y'all be patient with me. I got some new stuff in this. It ain't no good if I don't know how to use it. Let me see if I can put something up here. It says share the screen. This is what I don't see. Let me see, I'm hitting share. Open, allow Zoom to share your screen. I'm looking at the phone. Location, that has nothing to do. All right, Zoom. Maybe this is it right here. No, I don't want to end no meeting now. Use systems. All right, but they want a fingerprint. All right, I'm going to have to get, let me see. Advanced settings. Log out after a minute of activity. I don't know what all of this stuff is. General. Tell me when I don't see it yet. And then they're telling me something about an encoder. I remember doing it before. It got to be a better way. Multiple participants can share. Sharing options. Okay. Okay. I think that's good. All right. If y'all can see this, y'all gonna learn today. If y'all can see this, y'all gonna learn today. All right, maybe they can't see this. Maybe I said before I start putting all these slides together on a separate thing, and I see my face up in the corner. All right, y'all a couple of seconds behind me.
How to make the law of attraction.
All right, hold on. Oh, bless God. All right, let me see if I can see y'all comments down here. I got to open up this other thing. Tap to see. All right, I don't see anybody comments. This thing might be working. We might be going somewhere right now. Hold on a minute. Let me see if I can see y'all right here. Because if I can see y'all, we're gonna talk today. Not now, maybe 5 o'clock, because I know I get the rest of these things together. 2-9. Let me see. Turn that down. I can hear myself over here. All right. Oh no. All right, turn that down. Man, if I can get these other headphones or whatever, all these other things, if I can get this other thing lined up. Okay, 44 people. I see people. Oh yeah, and it's something is wrong with my, I don't see y'all. All right, let me exit this thing so I can talk to y'all so y'all can help me out. All right, I can pull this up. All right, I can see some, well, everything is good. All right, well, you tell me what, once you're on, we're on. What did YouTube say? Man, Mello, they talking about something about a strike because the guidelines, and I told y'all once we start talking, that's talking about don't try not to say certain words, and y'all come up in here, Nick Cannon, y'all was saying some words. the J word, certain words you don't say messing around with these people. But I'm trying to tell y'all, I'm trying to teach something, and but we're gonna go into it. We're going to go into the history. We got to talk about Minister Farrakhan. I'm going to show you, I'm going to take y'all some next level stuff. All of this, and I don't want people confuse what we would call the awakening with enlightenment. There's more than one woke movement going on at a time, and there's a lot of confusion. So I want to show some slides, and I want to explain some people. I want to explain some book, and I want to explain the birth of Masonic thought or occult thought in the African American community in America. In Detroit, in New Jersey, back in the days, y'all hear us talking about gods and the supreme wisdom and Elijah Muhammad. I want to get into the whole thing because Nick Cannon and what they doing in that form of Hebrewism, that's totally different. When Farrakhan came out here and Farrakhan turned around, he talking about Professor Griff said, oh, we the people. Farrakhan said that we Israel. We got to look at all of this stuff and why all of this stuff is coming out now and what they mean by that than what other people mean. So we're going to go through the school. I want to go through the school of the occult and esoteric thought. Of course, the haters going to run. I probably got hit because some of them haters went on there telling, look at what he's teaching, look at what he said. And a lot of black folk, boy, they bang for them other people. And it's not about race, it's not about racism or anything, but we have to deal with what the Bible deals with. We have to deal with nations. So I want people to know why Nick Cannon, why Professor Griff, why these people are talking the way they're talking. He might have left Public Enemy because of certain things that he said, but when it comes down to it, the occult doctrine is steeped in the streets. And on the block, the conscious community has birthed us into Freemasonry, and I'm going to explain it all the way from the Noble guy. Noble Drew Ali is the boss in all of this. I have witnessed people say, well, if you wasn't a Christian, what would you be? I can't lie. I've had more in my life, as far as reading books and building. I have built on, had heavier dialogue with cats from the Moore Science Temple and the Freemasons. And I'm going to explain to you why Masons and why they say we Moors and the Moors brought light to Spain. I'm going to take my time, but y'all got to see pictures. We living in a picture time. Y'all got to see pictures and books because I get out here and I ain't getting my coffee yet besides that point. I get out here and get the freestyling and people think that I'm joking like we ain't read some books, but the books that I'm going to talk about are not recommended readings. That's going to get the church people mad. He said, you look at what book he said, and I'm going to show y'all something because this is an awakening, and it's time to flip the gospel to the true gospel. We're going to start talking about the temple, the inner temple, and what all of these people taught, what Clarence 13X taught, what Elijah taught with the signs and the symbols. I'm going to give y'all Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, everybody involved in the church that was Prince Hall, because they helped to initiate the Kojic Church. They helped to initiate the Baptist Church. They helped to initiate the AME Church into this. So now when other guys are woke and other guys are saying, man, listen, y'all are steeped in paganism, y'all are steeped in 501, we're going to talk about sovereignty and nations and laws. When I get my man Jason on here and we start talking about people and people start saying the United States is a corporation, when we start dealing with Moors are right and exactly on top of stuff. But then you get other people that say stuff like David Icke talking about Social Security number, and you think it's a conspiracy. People that want to blind y'all, a lot of them are Christians. Oh, that's not a conspiracy. The Bible uses the word conspiracy, and y'all funny because when you hear the truth sometimes, the truth is so heavy, the truth is stranger than fiction. I'm going to take my time and I'm going to walk y'all through that. And I want to show y'all what Blavatsky and them said. And white people, a lot of black people wasn't ready for the occult initiation that came down from Rosicrucians and other mystics and Freemasons like Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, all of them people. Thomas Jefferson, they called him a Freemason without an apron. He leaned towards them. And I'm going to take my time and I'm going to go through about 40, 50 slides. And we're going to talk about that Magna Carta and the people and enlightenment and how we were 2/3. So legally, when they made up documents, they wasn't recognizing nobody black. And how a lot of guys started jumping into Prince Hall. A lot of pastors started doing that because they knew they weren't recognized as free men. When they start talking about being born free and sovereignty and it's Adam and Eve, it's all humanity sovereign. We got to talk about that stuff. Then we'll get into wars and why certain things take place. But this is all, these people are real smart. These people are real smart. There's some real heavy stuff. And And I feel I owe it to some people. Now, my man in them was like, oh, here you go. I'm telling you, this got to be in the book. The game is to be sold, but the time is so serious for believers. I'm talking about Bible believers. Y'all know I'm a Christian, but when I ride, I'm my Christianity, I'm riding on another level. My grandmother growing up in the house, my grandmother was 7-day Adventist, not eating shrimp and keeping the Sabbath. Friday, I'm waiting for her. After she see that news, 5 o'clock Friday, I can have that TV and I'm taking it in my room and I'm eating popcorn and candy all day Saturday, watching cartoons because she in there keeping the Sabbath. And then we would have that popcorn. I'm old right now, Yolanda. Y'all don't remember that popcorn that go on the stove and you spin it and the aluminum foil come up. Let me stop telling my age. I'm old. I've been down for a minute. I've been building with gods for a long time. I build with rabbis. I built with some heavy people, and I'm going to show y'all. I'm going to show y'all some stuff. There's about 10 books. If I name these 10 books, they're all going to say he going to hell. But as a former apologist, in a way, I want to help the Christians. If y'all are readers, if y'all are apologists, if y'all think, if y'all Israel, if y'all think y'all want to be out here building with these guys are dangerous. They're on another level. That's how come when you talk, you saying, oh, that's fantasy, oh, that's lie, because they're talking some stuff you never heard of. But they're talking some stuff that Hillary Clinton and Bill Gates and them probably heard before, that Thomas Jefferson and all of them practiced, that secret teaching that Manly P. Hall practiced, that was just regular behavior, was just regular talk among some people. And when the Moors came out, and when Noble Drew Ali came out, that's how come the beef came. Who was going to take over the organization? When Noble Drew Ali jump up on the scene, he come up on the scene, and y'all, da-da, y'all know that's my new thing, and he jump up on, and W.D. Ford, a pale man from the East. We're going to initiate these people. We going house to house. Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam. It's all connected. Then years later, we see Farrakhan in Masonic regalia, just like Bishop Ellis. Why is that? Farrakhan said he was going to reveal the secrets. They initiated us on the low. So now we're dealing with Richard King's book, The Melanin of the Science of Melanin. This is the occult science, raising your vibrations and opening up your third eye, and astral travel. And it's all new age, but they had to tailor it for the African-American community of people that were oppressed. That we needed the same doctrine, but we weren't ready to get it from Blavatsky and everybody else. So whilst all of that other stuff was going on, Aquarian gospel, I'm gonna talk to y'all about the other gospel. Because Stolen Legacy and them, they believed that Jesus and was involved in the other gospel. The Essenes, John the Baptist, Jesus, Elizabeth, Old Order, the Eastern Star. The Eastern Star didn't come about yet, but they believed that Mary and Elizabeth and them were initiated into this thing from Kemet. When we start talking about Moses, I'm going in, I don't got the coffee yet, but we're going to talk about Moses. Y'all busy, and this is what matter of fact, I'm going to put on, where the guards at? I'm going to put on the Moore Science Temple. I'm going to put on I'm going to mess around and put the fez on today, and I'm going to show y'all something. Y'all looking for artifacts. That's how they try to hem y'all up. Y'all looking for artifacts out in the, where could, if millions left Egypt, where can the artifacts be? The Moors and the gods. Moors and the gods and the Freemasons sitting back smiling. They reading the esoteric book. They reading the allegorical book, and all these little Pentecostal churches jumping up and down, trying to tap and trying to vibrate on another level with the organ playing, trying to tap into a spirit. And they don't know this is the temple. I'm gonna teach y'all about the temple. What they saying, what they say, and what some Prince Hall, what some people been practicing, what some rabbis been practicing. I'm gonna connect it to Europeans, because to them, color don't make a difference. They know colors make believe. They know it's make believe, but y'all don't know that. So they get so they use tools to have y'all down here like fools fighting. And there was some racism going on, even with Aleister Crowley, not Aleister Crowley, Albert Pike and them. And Albert Pike didn't want to be in the lodge with Black Prince Hall guys, and he never wanted to recognize them as brothers. But what Annie Besant prophesied, I'm gonna show y'all. They have plans. They speak things into existence, and they have long-term plans. You're just planning for right now. I'm gonna get a car, and then by next summer, some older people plan, I'm gonna leave my grandson a house. But these people have long-term plans. They got plans from 100 years ago, and the plans came together. And the plans on the scene right now. So Disney's showing y'all some stuff in cartoons, symbols in y'all churches right now. But y'all don't want to talk about paganism. That don't mean nothing. So they want to play games. They're gonna get the occult wisdom today. They're going to get the occult knowledge today. And if they want to keep jumping around and playing with the Christmas tree and playing with the Easter egg, and then when Israel turn around and say, get away from the paganism, that's nothing, because a large part of Christianity is going to usher us into the occult. And I'm going to show y'all symbols. I'm going to show y'all signs. But we're going to talk about Noble Drew Ali. Noble Drew Ali, he is the foremost. I could bring the other slides together. He is the foremost. He's the least talked about person, but he is the most important person. Noble Drew Ali in the Moore Science Temple coming on the scene in the early 1900s. He is the most important person in the African-American community that people don't know about today. When we talk about the entire conscious community, when we talk about Marcus Garvey, we talk about the movement, we talk about Rastafarians, we talk about the 5%ers, we talk about the Moors, we talk about this higher self, Dr. King, Black Dot, Melanin, this stuff that Nick Cannon is talking about is not regular Hebrew Israelite talk. Okay, I don't want no confused people going saying I'm a minister and I'm apologist. You're confused. If you don't know the occult science, if you don't know the history of the occult coming down and what was prophesied from apostles of Lucifer, if you don't know the prophecies that were prophesied that to take place in the entire world, you're in confusion unless God himself is showing you some things. And the church, and then instead of coming out and saying we do have problems, there's more and more educated occultists that's coming against us. And they're coming against us for a reason, to show you his errors in that book, to show you his problems in that book. Sunday, we getting ready to go in. We're going to go in talking about that canon. I'm going to show you how the Jesus Seminar and other people wanted to change the canon, minimize the canon, get rid of the book of Revelation and other things. People don't like Matthew 24. People don't like Daniel. People don't like Revelation. And why is that? Why are these other folk, these other nations, because the Bible talks about nations. I'm not saying no bad things for them to hit the check. Why are they saying what they're saying? There's certain things happen. Why they want to take books out? Why they want to do certain things, and even because they said it would be more unity in the church. That's what they're saying this is for. That's what they're saying this is for. And I hate to say, because I don't be throwing these books out here, y'all be thinking I'm running around here playing. Because there's enough. What's the name of this one right here? Let me see. I'll take this one back to the, and I told y'all I got them. I got my books back. The Canon Debate. Let me see if y'all can see that. This is another one right here. I done added 6 more books to the apocryphal class. I done added to the canonical class. I done added 6 more books. That's going to be a problem. So we got to talk about a whole bunch of stuff. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to show y'all slides, and I'm going to try to piece y'all all the way through. As an apologist, I'd say, Noble Drew Ali, all he did was he plagiarized the Aquarian gospel. Because remember, y'all was a lot of black people in the early 1900s. They wasn't ready for that Jesus in Egypt and the Shriners and different people. I'm going to talk about house moving. When they're moving from house to house, everybody I grew up with that's a 5%er, we got down with the Moore Science Temple, got down with the Freemasons. Most alphas, if you're not an alpha, they become Freemasons. Why is that? They're house moving. They say, oh, y'all just stuck in Christianity, and we move from house to house because we are one with the universe. The universe is moving into a different house. It's the age of Aquarius, and Christ came to teach you about another house. But y'all ain't into that. Y'all stuck in Christianity in one movement. So it's different because they're eclectic. They're moving from house to house, and they're moving from thing to thing. So we're all being initiated and becoming witches. We're learning the astral travel. There's multiple dimensions. You can deal with your higher self in different parts of your brain and go into the future and change your life. We're going to show you what the Egyptians practice, so everything is locked into Egypt. I'm giving y'all a whole bunch of it right now. Everything is locked into Egypt. And when people start saying, I'm coming up and Moses came out of Egypt, I'm going to pull up the video with Farrakhan telling them that the law and Moses went and civilized the people and brought them out of the mountains. What does it mean coming across the burning sands when the children of Israel were in the wilderness? That's civilizing an uncivilized people. So Noble Drew Ali came on the scene and he said, my people over here, they mess messed up. Police is doing this to them. We all over here crazy. We uncivilized. This is going to raise us up. And he connected it with the Moors in Europe that brought light to Europe. Noble Drew Ali single-handedly gave us, without us even being known or being initiated into Freemasonry, he came and brought Freemasonry abroad to everybody. I have never met nobody that was not, at least went through the Blue Lodge and became at least a Prince Hall third degree Master Mason that knows more of the craft and of the occult practices and of the signs and symbols than somebody coming out of Moore Science Temple. They very important. And then a piece of it with the instructions from Elijah Muhammad, came down from Noble Drew Ali, and that's how come W.D. Fard was trying to act like he was Noble Drew Ali reincarnated, because he came with the degree work. And he gave a whole bunch of that work. That's where the 120 and stuff later on come on the scene. And they were asking Elijah Muhammad, when you was talking to Noble Drew Ali, not Noble Drew Ali, when you was talking to W.D. Fard, he just said he was a man from the East, and they gave us degree work. That's what they talking about, the lessons. When we said we're going to give catechism to the kids, the 120. I'm telling y'all, if y'all apologists, if y'all believers out here, y'all got to break down questions and answers. And this is how the occult work was developed among us as a people. And then we started hearing certain things, the hot sands of Arabia and desert, and we start seeing swords and fezzes and Islam, and we started hearing Shriner talk because they were noble. So they said he's a noble one. He come to make things right, and he know the language of kings. He know how to move among the kings, and he started teaching that type of law. He started teaching sovereignty and king talk that they were talking in Europe. He started teaching that to the regular people. Now, y'all sitting up in church, and somebody that's simple will say, well, what does this have to do with Christianity? Nothing. Absolutely right, nothing. This is another level of spirituality, and they coming in there at war, but everybody is training now. So in church, y'all got yoga because that light from the East came. And when the light from the East came, Noble Drew Ali gave it to y'all. Then it came down in pieces. And then they even told us the steps to move to the next house. They said, what's the Wallace D. Muhammad? I'm freestyling, giving y'all a whole thing right now. Wallace D. Muhammad. After Elijah Muhammad died, his son moved over into Orthodox Islam, and Farrakhan and them was bucking against, and Farrakhan stayed with the nation. He didn't think it was time yet. But they already gave, the nation of Islam already gave y'all a bunch of Freemasonry. But it wasn't out yet. So his son shifted over into, listen, let's go into the regular house of Islam, because they believe all books are sacred. I don't know nobody that's more that don't have a Bible. They know the Bible. They know the Bible is the heaviest book on the planet. And y'all playing games, but they're looking at the Bible a different way. I'm going to say 6, 7 books, and it's going to hurt you. They're going to say, you shouldn't say that if you're a Christian. You shouldn't say them books for the people, but it's some stuff out here y'all got to know about. So when certain things came on the scene, later on, we end up seeing more and more of that teaching coming out. And Professor Griffin, and when they came on the scene, they started mixing the Moore Science Temple with the Nation of Islam. Then you heard Professor them saying, we the people. They're saying we the people, but they're giving it to us. They're giving it to us saying we're the people, with elements of Freemasonry, with elements of schools of the occult. That's how come earlier, when the first leaders in the Moore Science Temple came on the scene, the first leaders in the Moore Science Temple, they gave y'all only the leaders in the Moore Science Temple had the Circle 7 Quran spelt with a K. It's not the regular Quran from Ibn Abdullah. It's not the regular Quran. He made a custom Quran, and they said the problem is when you look at the front of the Quran, because an apologist, I would say automatically the Quran is a plagiarized form of the Aquarian Gospel of Jesus Christ, written by Levi Dowling. Now, Levi Dowling, a lot of people believe Levi Dowling and them was connected with W.D. Fard. They said Fard was in New York, and Fard knew Helen Blavatsky, and then was connected with Helen Blavatsky. We already know that Blavatsky wrote, at least on 1 or 2 occasions, was back and forth writing Gerald Massey, who was a chief Druid, and he wrote Ancient Egypt, Light of the World, Book of the Beginning. The occult teaching is spreading everywhere. So they said, we want to bring blacks up. We don't want the blacks to be left out, because all of Europe was initiated into the occult already. They might have been fighting, and the Catholics were fighting against them, but they were underground. The Rosicrucians were underground. The Masons were underground. And they said, man, everybody from Abraham to Pythagoras, we build with the gods of the Bible, and the patriarchs articulated a holy, sacred teachings. So now they got the teachings of Enoch. Now they got the book of Enoch. Now they're interested, and it's interesting. When the guy found it, they said he was in secret society. When he found it, he was laying deep into the stuff. It's interesting that we see a whole bunch of stuff coming down because they say all of this stuff is connected to Imhotep. All of this stuff is connected spiritually. That's how come y'all in the wilderness running around here with this crazy stuff looking for artifacts about Israel. And this is what the occult lore is. The occult lore is allegorical spiritually, and it's bringing us up. But the problem is the original man had it first. The original, whoever y'all want to call the original man, then they gave it to some other people, and other people flipped everything and said, this is the book to rule the planet. This is the light of the planet. But if we close the door and we give them paganism, we give them foolishness that had us in darkness, we can keep the true light. The war is over the Bible and the truth of the Bible and what's coming out inside of the Bible. That's the whole war. And now it's interesting because they would laugh at me, oh, Berea, you doing this, you doing that. I'm doing the most. But when it comes down to it and you arguing with these people, I'm saying you got to pump your brakes because y'all don't know a lot of the depths of what's going on. When people say there is, or when people say we waking, when people say something has happened, pump your brakes, slow down because y'all don't know the depths of it. I done build with a lot of y'all. Y'all know y'all was my friends, but I done built with a lot of y'all. Y'all don't know the depths of it. What do you mean? What do you mean? What's the depths of it? How these people view a thing. They flipped it. That's how come other people wanted the stuff to come out. Stolen legacy, they stole it. Pythagoras and them stole it. This stuff comes from Imhotep. We was the builders. We had the secrets. Israel, and what do we mean when we say Israel as a nation wasn't Egypt? We don't want, true Bible believer, we don't want nothing from Egypt, but I'm gonna show y'all how the remix came on the story. How the remix came down, and they said we received this from Pythagoras and Pythagoras and them. We received this from Imhotep. We received this from the builders, and some of the people received it from those that were on the ark, the divine ones that had the instruction. So they start talking about Noahide. It's all going to laws. It's all going to laws. You hear a lot of conspiracy theories. It's going to go back to the Noahide laws and all of this other stuff. It's all connected together. It's all connected together. And then people bring it one way, but don't let them bastardize the awakening. What are you talking about? And that's the word. It's words that bother the Christians. It's words that bother the Christians, but y'all don't get these words because if y'all don't like it, it's happening all around y'all. It's happening all around y'all, and y'all don't know what it is. But don't get confused with Nick Cannon and think what Nick Cannon is doing, what my people in them doing. What the people that I bring on the channel, the people that I'm talking about, they're dealing with history and they're dealing with the writ. They're not trying to pull Christ down for who he is. But y'all are so confused in the church. Either y'all, some of y'all are all the gatekeepers, or y'all really don't know, and y'all are trying to stop something that can be the hand of God. Remember, y'all are the same ones that argue, God's speaking from the book, he ain't speaking in visions. God gotta speak in visions. That's going against what the book is saying. But there's a lot of us out here asleep, but the ones asleep, they got the 501. The ones asleep, they got the buildings. The ones that are asleep, they're running around here like they're the leaders. They got the divine knowledge from the seminary, but it's way heavier than they think it is. And it's been moving around in the hood. So we've been, WD Ford, all them dudes weren't educated. Them dudes weren't this, them dudes weren't that. That dude was a criminal. He was a felon, and that's the first thing like to throw, your past. Malcolm X was Malcolm X, everybody, you a felon, you this, you that, you this, you that. Thank you, Dan. Being Christ, he's a new creature. So they'll even try to throw some stuff up about me. Oh, well, you're not qualified. They always want to try to disqualify you, put it that way. But at the same time, knowledge came out. Now that knowledge is bucking against us. What we finna do with that knowledge now? What we gonna do with that knowledge now that that knowledge is on the block? Y'all admit, I never in my life, as much as I built with them, I never in my life led nobody that was really seriously down with the Moore Science Temple to the Lord. Nobody, just some pastors I know, and they practice what they practice and they believe is real, but they just say, oh, just beyond you. And they steep into Prince Hall, they steep into some other stuff, and they practice stuff that are outside of the book. So when I see the pastor practicing, bishop and them practicing, I'm like, oh man, come on, that ain't no different. It ain't no different with these pastors and the rabbis dealing with Kabbalah, and y'all think they blessed. Y'all think they're the holy teachers, and y'all follow them. That's what y'all like doing that. Y'all follow them because they put on the show and the pomp and the circumstance, so you say they're important. Well, I'm gonna tell y'all what the Pharisees did that. Y'all gotta watch. I even hate, I didn't want to go on. I'm gonna show the pictures and I'm gonna show the books and I'm gonna show a few things, but it's deeper than y'all think. And like I said, I'm not shooting down every pastor, but it's a lot. There's so much going on. And I think that people need to come to a deeper understanding. That's the only reason I'm going to put it out here publicly. We got to follow the Nation of Islam and how they came down in the Moor Science Temple and how they came down and how it's an eclectic people right now. But don't let them rock you to sleep. When we start talking about Israel and different stuff, don't let them rock you to sleep. The church helped rock people to sleep. Oh, we're all one Israel. Spiritual Israel, all this retarded, all this nonsense, all this nothing but nonsense. Whole bunch of nonsense running around here. And now there are some people that say we're really searching out the scriptures, because you can say what you want. Much of y'all want to quote scriptures, y'all talking about exegeting the text and all that. I don't know about all that fancy stuff. I know one thing. Y'all show me that word Israel. That word Israel is up and down in that book, from Genesis to Revelation, all in the New Testament. That word is in there. And Israel is a nation, and the people are going to play a major role in the last days. Period. Y'all go exegete that. Period. And then one thing that bothers me, y'all would tell me certain things. Well, you got to say this, and they divided. What do you mean they divided? You got the nerve to tell me that they divided? And you running around here, you Presbyterian, and he Baptist, and they Anglican over there. These white folk divided. I shouldn't have said that. These white folk divided everything. All these denominations of white people that y'all done. I'm getting offline. But y'all got to be careful when y'all pointing fingers at them. You got to understand that nonsense that you in. I get in the room with all you heavy people, and I tell y'all something right now. Come on, all you heavy people, you heavy Bible thumpers, all you exegeters. Let's explain Matthew 24. Can you divorce and remarry? Explain that. I could throw stuff out there that's going to have 10 of y'all in the room with 500 interpretations. What's going to happen in the last days? When is the rapture? Before the Antichrist, after the Antichrist? Y'all going to run amok with it, because the whole church, 2.6 billion of us are divided. So you bothering them, boy, y'all better back up. There's a wisdom that's coming down here. Y'all better back up. Y'all better stop playing yourselves. If you don't know about it, stay away from it. Don't try to put your mouth on it. Don't try to play yourself. There's some stuff that's happening in the earth. That's all I'm saying. And if y'all can't see it, now if the shoe fit, now that's a whole nother story. If the shoe fit, wear it, but don't get mad. Oh, he ain't giving scripture. Boy, y'all don't even want to give I give y'all scripture. They don't give y'all scripture. And y'all done ran them up with one verse. Y'all got 900 interpretations. Stop it. Stop it and leave these folk alone. Let's figure this thing out. Then y'all don't want to come to the table and talk. Somebody slicker to come talking to me. Matter of fact, I don't even know if I'm bringing that stuff, of course it's haters, and I know it's them haters doing it. Oh, Maria, you done, when did the channel turn Israelite? When did the channel turn into a Hebrew channel? And that's them slick thumpers. I said, listen, you slick thumper, let me tell you something. The mere fact that I see it's not a platform that sensible people get together, I'm going to have to keep talking. I'm going to keep talking until more Israel, more believers get together, and we come and we dialogue in love. We share what we feel, Pastor Lottie. I don't really look at it like that. Apostle Jenkins did say such and such and such, and we looking at different things. We just chopping them and we throwing it out there. But they playing games because they caught up in titles, and it's a low form of, I call it a low form of Christianity. Why I call it a low form of Christianity? Because y'all fighting too hard over that tree that ain't book. I'm middle of something. I'm talking about tree. Y'all know I ain't right, but I'm gonna talk about it because it's symbolic. So if you gonna put the tree out there, I'm gonna teach Kabbalah, the tree of life. Play with me. So that's just while I was in seminary, I was building with the gods. I was praying in myself, calling on the everlasting God, and I was going after that. Y'all building with them, play with me. It's not a game. It's not a game. Y'all saying a lot of stuff. And then y'all said, even in the end time, the church going to be going. Y'all taught me that he was going to rule down here. If he's going to rule and he come back and Christ's going to rule, mess around and Christ come down here ruling and keeping the Sabbath. Y'all believed in the physical temple. Y'all said it was an allegorical. I'm done. I'm finna get up out of here. I need some coffee. I need to go chill. It's funny, and y'all would throw stuff and say stuff. But I got a great book coming out. I ain't worried about your book coming out. I ain't even dropped it. I ain't worried about no book. I'm worried about building. This thing is serious. Now Nick Cannon, now basketball players and football players, now rappers are saying something. Y'all ain't explained nothing yet. Oh, that's the devil. Oh, they over there, they ain't right. Y'all ain't explaining nothing yet. Now, if Nick Cannon coming out, he don't know nothing. We got to build. If them dudes are talking, if they full of it, we got to build. That's all I'm saying is building time. But y'all don't want to build. Y'all above building with them. Y'all greater than them. Remember, y'all are more educated than them. Remember? Oh, he got it. I said, well, the other pastor, I think he would have said, oh, he got an undergrad. All right, undergrad, overgrad, whatever. These are mega words. And all of that come from degree work at the lodge too. The degrees, the levels, first, second, third, fourth, fifth grade, post-grad, doctoral work, all that come from degree law. That comes from degree work in the lodge. And then the reason that the black-white thing is not going to go anywhere is because Christ said it wasn't going to go anywhere. In the last day, nations shall rise against nations. I know that Greek word ethnos. It's going to be ethnic beef. Now, those people took the occult sciences and they went, and the European Freemason building with me. Listen, if y'all were, that don't make no difference. If it was black people in the Sudan and Ghana and other places in Africa, in West Africa, we would see pyramids. We got evidence. We had the occult science. We had Freemasonry and knowledge of higher self because we built great cathedrals in the 1000 early 1,000 years ago. We already had geometry. We were already building great cathedrals, passing down the occult science. And this is how Europe became what Europe became, to override America and all the other nations of the earth. We're entrusted with the keys. Now, Farrakhan told y'all those keys was given by Moses to whoever he gave them to. If he went into the Caucasus, whatever. However, we'll talk about the allegorical story in the burning sands and who got the keys and who got the knowledge and who got the light. Because by the time Christ came on the scene, Israel was oppressed, and they oppressed them so long, they turned around and like, yo, we taking this whole thing over. Christianity, they were killing early primitive Christians. They were killing them for speaking the way they speak, and they were killing them. Then later on, they said, let's take over the religion. Da-da, Constantine's a Christian. Da-da, and everybody come out so happy. Come out from underground. Come out wherever y'all are. Constantine's a Christian, and everybody happy. But then we started seeing some stuff that wasn't primitive to the church, but y'all don't want to talk about that. Y'all don't want to talk about that. Y'all got all that degree work. Y'all don't want to talk about that. So they arguing, we built cathedrals, grand cathedrals. Y'all ain't have it in Africa. We got the divine right to rule. So later on, when Noble Drew Ali saw this, he came out and he said, listen, we got to teach these people the laws. Because remember, they already had Moors with them in Spain. Who were the Moors? They were Muslims. So later on, European Shriners, what that doctor, when we start dealing with the 33rd and all of those higher degrees, they just came around and Europeans got excited with the knowledge that they found. They got excited with some teachings and they started building on those other teachings. So now the spiritual occult teachings are out, and our younger people are trying to re-grasp all of this stuff. Stolen legacy, we're trying to re-grasp all of this stuff. What is the cult science behind melanin in the sun? Is it sun worship? Is it an occult power that I can meditate? Can the sun help me going out into the sun? Going out into the sun, just getting some sun. Can the sun make me feel better? Can yoga, because y'all bring it into church. That's what's funny. They're ruling with the religion, and it's two separate religions because we're two different houses. It's that spiritual house, Ra Moses, and it's the house that I'm following, because all of us, you can say what you want, a large, about 100 us up in here believe that Jesus is the king. Jesus came teaching a thing. Now we can debate on what Jesus taught and how he taught and how it applies to us, and we've been doing that, but it's another attack that's coming. And our young people are into it. It's another attack. It's a whole nother thing. And I don't think that they're seeing it coming. And I think they're just going to confuse and conflate. They're going to confuse the whole thing more with Nick Cannon. And that means that my people's in them. Oh, no, because they confused because Nick Cannon. So that means they racist. No, you don't. I tell the people I'm more running, but a lot of them don't believe that. A lot of them don't believe that. But we got to talk about the melanin. We got to talk about the sun. We got to talk about Dr. Francis, because there have been a lot of people in the African-American community that feels a certain way about Europeans. And we have to know where this teaching came from and how this teaching came all the way down. And what do we mean by that? Why David Duke liked Farrakhan. Why did they like Farrakhan? Because they believe that the seed of the black man can do something if he keeps sleeping with European women and then mulatto babies come, and then it'll destroy a race. Genetically, his sperm, his seed will destroy a race. Why were they hanging people? Y'all can say what y'all want. Dr. Francis, she did have a degree in mental behavior. She was a psychiatrist or whatever she was. She was that. So she's saying these people are hanging you and they're obsessed with cutting off our penises. They're obsessed with penises for a reason. Remember, the Washington Monument is a penis. Remember the story of Osiris. Y'all want to go somewhere? We're gonna go somewhere today. So why were these other people that received something, why were they obsessed with these obliques? Why were they obsessed with penises and cutting ours off and doing certain things to us and instilling that energy of fear, marching around the house in circles? Remember Israel, y'all marched around. He said to march around the wall for the thing to come down, bring the fear. There's certain things, these are cult practices that people been practicing. They put on uniforms, they put on their costumes and march around, then torch your house. Then the same people call themselves Christians and burn crosses. What does burning and a cross have to do with this? Listen, I'm not playing with you people. I told you I wasn't a preacher no more. I told y'all I ain't no apologist no more, but I believe on the Lord. I believe on the Lord, and we're gonna talk. It's gonna be a good day to talk. Phallic, thank you. The phallic religion. And now we got that on top of the churches. But y'all don't want to talk. Y'all don't want to talk. Y'all ain't got to talk. The buildings are speaking. Your signs, your symbols, your holidays are speaking. The amount of your pastors that are Freemasons, that are cultists, that's speaking. The amount of it's a whole bunch of stuff speaking. There's a whole bunch of stuff speaking. Like when people say, listen, I don't know how to execute that, but the Bible says the earth is mourning. The earth even knows something is happening, and y'all running around here touching your neighbor like it's all good. No, it's deeper than that. I told y'all, I like Sister Lewis. She said, forget the time. Let's all get on the altar. We need to all get on the altar. We need to all pray to get an understanding. Let me stop shooting down them brothers over there. They loving their neighbors. They believe Jesus is the king. And like the girl, who was that other girl? I wish she was in here. She said, we all believe the same thing. Just who the people are. And I'm not even saying, and then what's crazy, I'm not crazy enough to say that we're going to throw away a whole people just because I had beef with a couple of police officers, a couple of correction officers. You don't throw away a whole quote unquote race of people because you had 2 or 3 bad experiences, Farrah Fawcett, because somebody robbed, somebody killed your dad. You don't throw away a whole race of people. That's silly. That's silly, but at the same time, we got to know why these people are saying what they're saying, why Dr. Francis saying what they're saying, why Farrakhan said our seed shouldn't mix. And he came down from Elijah, that came down from WD, that came down from Noble Drew Ali. Why Farrakhan was so much saying our seed shouldn't mix. David Duke and the Klan and them Christian orders that was started by Pike and them, because y'all know the Klan and them and the degree work in the Klan and the KKK, a lot of that degree work was written by Albert Pike. Like the highest Scottish Rite degree was written by Albert Pike, same architect, different building. So we got to look at the stuff. Why is some of the stuff happening? We got to look at the stuff. And then when you got the other people saying it's so deep, it's so heavy, it's so dangerous, remember what Apostle said, the enemy is wise, the enemy is shrewd, the enemy is on another level, he not playing. But we know certain things that are right and exact. I think I could say, and everybody in here that's a believer need to say, I think I could say, repent. We need to all repent and call on him. If we've been involved in abortion, if we've been involved in all of this madness that we see over here in the land of the oppressor, the world is the land of the oppressor. This world is not my home. Oh, I feel ignorant right now. Oh, this world is not my home. This is stuff. This is what they used to say. We're pilgrims passing through. We got to remember some of the stuff. If we repent right now, we repent because we've done wrong. But there's a belief out here that we got melanin, we dark, we're holy, we're pure, automatically we're gods. It is a form of Gnosticism. It's back to another thing. We got to look at all of this stuff, and we got to look at it in light of this book. Forget them fools. They telling me believe Genesis, but don't believe Luke. Sit down somewhere. We got to believe the whole book. We got to eat the whole book up. It's time to eat the book. It's time to repent. It's time to go in. I even know I'm showing pictures. I was supposed to go down here and see my man and them in church and all of this stuff, but it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. We gotta do a lot. And like I said, I don't want to bang on nobody. I don't want to act like I'm not smarter than anybody. But this stuff that's going on with Nick Cannon. There's a connection with Nick Cannon. There's a connection with Nick Cannon. There's a connection with Farrakhan. There's a connection with Professor Griffin, what's going on. And like I said, the 5%ers and the rap music, we've been getting indoctrinated with the God talk. We've been getting indoctrinated with it. Then Oprah came on another level and gave it to everybody, but it was already here before with Blavatsky, Annie Besant. They already prophesied that these things would take place. They already prophesied that these things would happen. And then we got to look at what European jury have to say about this. We have to see what certain people have to say. I'm not talking no conspiracy or nothing, but there's a lot of people that's saying, we got to look at the land and we got to look at anthropology. If y'all want to look at anthropology, if y'all want to look at, because King in King's book, Black Dot, he starts talking about melanin and the power of melanin inside of individuals. But we're not saying that Europeans don't have melanin. What's the connection with melanin? What's the connection with the Rastafarians with food? There's certain things that have been fed to us as a community, as a people, with dread and long hair and Samson. There's been things that's been fed to us. Now, all of a sudden, occult practices, now yoga. Now we done, and I like what Apostle said, we done made meditation wrong. So we scared to even get quiet for a minute, turn the TV off and shut our mouths. We're scared to do that because meditation is the devil. Oh God, I could be meditating. I could be, but then some of y'all are just allowing other practices. Forget what our books say. Y'all are so knowledgeable right now. Y'all allowing the people from the East. Close your mind out and you'll see a great white man coming down with blonde hair. He's in the center. Shut up. But we got this stuff going on right now. And y'all crept it in church. Y'all crept it in church. So now y'all saying simple stuff. We're at war now. Our children out here dying. Our kids are getting sucked up into the cult. Now y'all saying, oh, well, color don't matter. Y'all just want to say he wasn't white, color don't matter. It's way deep. It's it's somewhere else right now. You talking about color don't matter, and we done got initiated. Oh, you ain't got to be in the lodge to be initiated. You ain't got to go through the ritual to be initiated. We've been initiated through Disney. They're initiating our children. Through Harry Potter, they've been doing it. Thank you so much. We appreciate you in the super chat. Oh, they told me another thing. Get the thumbs up. They told me something with the algorithm. I don't do nothing. Y'all be in here 100 of y'all deep and I can't get 50 thumbs up. I know some of the haters are listening and they gonna get on the phone like, look at him. Look at the stuff that he's saying. He didn't say John 3:16 for God so loved the world. I know I didn't. I know I didn't. We are, most of us in here, we didn't grow up in God. We didn't grow up in church. We know John 3:16. We got to go a little deeper. We got to look into some things. So when we crack the book open, this is what I tell people, you got to be prepared. So when you crack the book open, you got to be prayed. You got to be broken. You got to pray. You got to have God's spirit on you. So when you crack the book open, you could see it another way. I'm tired of seeing it the way I've been seeing it. Everything gonna be okay. Everything gonna be okay. All that's happening around me, everything gonna be okay. No, I'm tired of reading it the way I'm reading it. I'm tired of seeing it the way I'm seeing it. I want to see it with fresh eyes. And when I close my eyes, this book's so powerful. And when I'm done reading it and I close my eyes, I want the everlasting King. When I lay down in the bed, I want him to deposit things in my spirit. We're a different people. We're prepared for the download of the Lord. And there's a lot of people when we're gifted, we're approaching some of these pastors, they looking at us like because they ain't getting the download. They just reading the book, so they ain't getting the download. So when we come to them talking about dreams, and they be like, oh no, you done wilded out right now. What did you have to eat last night? They start going into, because remember, they done pushed you. I like focus on the family. Them other people saying they don't push that psychology on y'all. Psychology help push the ruach of God out. Because now y'all think y'all smart. You can't think, you can't intellectualize a demon. Let me tell you, jump with something in here right now, trying to intellectualize some of this stuff. This thing is spiritual. This thing is spiritual. The spirits riding these nations. What spirits riding you? I'm gonna leave y'all with that. I don't even know. I don't sat here and build with y'all for an hour and ain't putting on. Got 6 slides up here. Oh man, let me see if the dude Jason is around. All right, y'all, I'm gonna get off. Y'all know what it is. $ Berean Teach. We appreciate y'all and the support. We're gonna go on the Patreon. Them other videos, if y'all see a video and it's not on here no more, if they didn't take it down, I just put it up in the Patreon. We're gonna go in Sunday with the candidates deeper than y'all think. It's a lot going on. We just trying to do God's will. I'm just trying to do God's will. I ain't gotta be a pastor to do God's will. I ain't gotta be a bishop to do God's will. That's another thing. You want to confuse them, just say anything. They're still apostles right now. They'll run amok. They're busy running word about Israel. They were busy worried about messianics and all this other stuff. Come on, stop worrying about that. And y'all got, like I said, y'all got all these other folk. And you know, all these denominations, 99.9% of all these denominations out here, them European people started them up. Period. But that bothers you. He said European people, he's a racist. That's the truth. Who started the Baptist church? Who started Anglican church? Who started Lutheran church? But y'all don't want truth anymore. Y'all don't want truth anymore. All right, y'all, I'm going. Let me see if I can even stop this thing now. I ain't pulled up my books. I'm doing the most right here. But at least I got some new stuff to do it on. Hopefully it's looking good. Hopefully it's sounding good. All right, y'all, I'm going.